there, and David Silva turns the ball in from Kevin De Bruyne. 2-0 to City, and it's scooped over the goalkeeper, David Silva. Low shot, and this time he finds the net. Sterling brings it back. David Silva, 1-0. No applause, and it's easy pickings for Raheem Sterling. As Kevin De Bruyne lashes the ball into the net. Penalty saved, and the ball open in. Bernardo Silva, and headed in. Gabriel Jesus gets the goal that makes it 5-0. City 5, Swansea 0.
Another fixture, another competition. The only team in England to still be competing in the Champions League, the Premier League, the League Cup and the FA Cup as well. And we wouldn't have it any other way, and we're not really here. Pep Guardiola turns his attentions to the FA Cup, where we face Swansea at the Liberty Stadium in the 5th round. Now, 2 years ago, we had a cracking cup tie here, so we are hoping for more of the same this evening as the boys in blue arrive at the Liberty Stadium to face Swansea in the FA Cup. Hello and welcome to We're Not Really Here. My name is Kyle Walker, and joining me for this fixture is two well-travelled and well-seasoned ex-pros. We've got Kevin Horlock, Shaun as well. Kevin, going to start with you. How are you doing? Nice to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been a while. The boys in blue are doing all right, aren't they, since I've last been here? They're doing all right.
Not too bad at all. Shaun, how have you been since you were last here?
Yes, I'm good. Again, looking forward to today, but all in all, I'm good.
It's going to be another game. Thick and fast it is as well, Kevin, because every 3 days it feels like there is a fixture. You did say that they are doing well, and it feels like that momentum it just keeps on going.
Yeah, that's how football works, isn't it? If you're getting good results, you want more games. If you're not, you want a little bit of a break. But the lads are on fire, aren't they? Picking up results all over the place. So more of the same today, hopefully.
Definitely. Right, let's jump straight into the team news. Starting in goal, we've got Zach Stefan, and then it's Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy, Aymeric Laporte and Eric Garcia making up that defence. Then it's Rodrigo, Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, Gabriel Jesus, Ferran Torres, Raheem Sterling as your starting 11, and substitutes Edison, John Stones, Zinchenko, Riyad Mahrez, João Cancelo, Foden, Doyle, Bernabe and Claudio Gomez as well. That is the team facing Swansea in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Quite a few changes right there. And Shaun,
yes.
Start with you. What do you make of it?
Yeah, well, it's the whole back four is a new back four. What's interesting about that is certainly Kevin and I, when we used to play, if there was a change of 2 or 3 players, the team's rhythm just wasn't there. But we've seen it time and time again when City make changes. These guys come in as though they've been playing the last 10 games, and their rhythm is there. So I'm intrigued to see how we get on defensively, because again, goalkeeper and the back four, they didn't play in the last game.
Kevin, let's talk about the shape, all right? Let's try somehow to figure out how they're going to play on the pitch. We know that they like to shift and change at all times. Starting in front of the back four, do you think it'll be Rodrigo that's sitting in there with Gundogan next to each other?
Yeah, I think so. I think Rodrigo's sitting there, allow Gundo and Bernardo to go and explore and cause the problems that they have done over recent weeks. There's no real changes, real surprises for me, I must be honest. Is it resting people, players? Is it using your squad and giving lads minutes that are craving to play? That's man management. That's what elite teams look like. You have to give people chances when you get the opportunity to. So it's a mixture of resting and giving opportunities for me.
Shaun, that front three.
Yes.
What do you make of it? What do you think it'll look like?
Well, it's fire, isn't it? It's fire. Look, Torres hasn't played for a little bit, but I really like Torres. When he's played up the middle, I've liked him. I've enjoyed what he brings to the table. His pace, his quality, decision making, running along the line. Sterling, we know what Sterling brings us. He brings us goals. He brings us intelligence. Starting to see in his game when we break forward, he'll run the ball, drive forward, and then he'll sort of slow it up. So you see at times he's game managing as well. And Jesus has scored against Swansea, so I'm sure he'll be looking forward to this one to get on the score sheet again.
Kevin, we're coming off the back of a huge game against Liverpool. We've got another one at the weekend against Tottenham as well. But the FA Cup is so important. And even though there's been plenty of changes, is it still a strong lineup?
Massively strong. You talk about the back four, there's full of internationals. This club's moved so far forward from back in mine and Shaun's day. Yes, lads have been rested, but like for like, look at the players coming in. This is massive. Do you know what I mean? Pep's renowned for wanting to go big in all competitions, and rightly so. So it's a cup that he'll be looking to hopefully win, and this team suggests that.
And if he needs to make any changes, you've got Edison, Stones, Zinchenko, Mahrez, Cancelo, Foden, Doyle, Gomez, Bernabe, Shaun.
I'm waiting for sound effects. I mean,
You've always
that is
got
some names.
Edison to bring on in case we get a penalty, maybe.
Exactly, which we will be talking about a little bit later on. But it is so strong, isn't it?
It is. I mean, Zinchenko, he's a sub today, but he's one that when he comes in, when he's been in, and I'm looking and thinking, this guy hasn't played for a couple of weeks, but then he just performs. And I'm just thinking, he just goes about his game, and you just think, yeah, guys, give another 8 performance. Again, the quality is there, Cancelo. I really think Cancelo is a midfielder. This guy, I mean, we're talking about the bench because it's so hot, right? The bench is so hot. But Cancelo, I like when this guy comes in the midfield because, again, his quality of passing, to see the passes. Also, he gets himself an opportunity to have the odd shot. I like his creativity when he steps in there. And when he's out wide, wow, the guy's beating players left, right, and center, sauteing them up like onions. I mean, the guy is just so the bench is just real quality. It's real quality.
It is indeed. Now, it is a long goal drive down to Swansea with a bit of a previous with us too. 2 years ago, a great match. Manchester City 2-0 down. Somehow managed to pull it out the bag, bring it back 3-2. Sergio Aguero with the winner. But it's not going to be an easy one this evening, is it?
No, it's not. It's a little bit of a free hit for Swansea for me. Obviously, it's their cup final. They're not expected to get anything, so they're going to throw everything at it. I think it's probably a little bit easier going there with no crowd. I must admit, it's always quite a daunting place to go, Swansea, with the home crowd there. But it's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to probably be tougher than games that the team have had over recent weeks because they're expected to win and they'll have a team right up for it playing against them.
Now, looking at this game right here, a couple of years ago, yes. I mean, Swansea go 2-0 up. Great finish there. I'm not going to lie. It looked like it wasn't going to happen, Shaun.
No, listen, the finish, it was absolutely brilliant. And, Swansea are that team that I'm trying to think how to describe them. They're like a distant cousin in terms of how they play their football and how we play our football. Now, for years, they've actually went and invested in this style of football with Martinez, Martinez, Brendan Rodgers, all these managers play this style of football. So I don't think they'll change. They'll stay the way of how they look to play out the back. And Pep will be very aware of that. And so the players will know it'll still be a tough game.
It was Burson Salina who got one of Swansea's goals, ex-Manchester City player. There's been a few crossovers between the two. Scott Sinclair, Wilfred Bonney, Burson Salina as well, and Frank Lampard. Which is a name that not a lot of people knew.
I wouldn't have known that one. You threw that out there. I wouldn't have known that one.
Now, in the final few moments, Manchester City get a penalty, and up steps the man, the myth, the legend, Sergio Aguero. And I mean, very lucky, very lucky. There's always drama surrounding penalties with Manchester City, but it hits the back of the net, Kevin. That's all that matters.
Yeah, he meant that. Aguero meant that off the post. That's what he was going for. Undoubtedly.
And there we go. He gets the winner, making it 3-2. Diving header. Shaun, seeing you do a few of those, yeah?
Well, that's it. Listen, you kids that are listening and watching, you get across your man in their post. Catch your keeper unawares. That's Sergio Aguero. Doesn't need much space or time, but can deliver the goods.
Kevin, did you ever see Shaun do that in a game?
Oh, I've seen him shin a few, I must admit. Goal scorer. He's a goal scorer.
Well, just like Sergio's penalty, I meant to shin him.
Look, I don't want to kill Shaun off. You weren't as good as Aguero, but you were good, mate. You were good.
I'll take that. I'm in the same conversation as Aguero. I'll take that.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. Right, let's turn our attention to the 4 different competitions that we are involved in. Manchester City are looking very, very good. I mentioned it at the top of the show. Premier League, Champions League, League Cup, and the FA Cup this evening as well. I mean, the management side of things for Pep Guardiola, he could easily have to do 50, 55 team talks in one season, Kevin. Is that easy?
No, it's not. being a manager myself now, it's difficult when you've got a lot of team talks to do and they're on the back of each other. You can become just a noise, same old. But I must admit, Pep, his history, what he's achieved, what he's won, I could listen to Pep on loop doing a team talk and I wouldn't get bored. And I could listen to him all day. He's obviously really good at what he does. The way he delivers it, his enthusiasm, the way he manages. Lads want to listen to him and they want to learn off him, and you can see it. You can. And Shaun, being able to do that 55 times, it's a skill. Does that separate the great managers to the good managers?
Well, without shadow of a doubt. I mean, he looks for the marginal gains, the small areas and where the team can improve. I remember actually having a conversation with another player talking about, he doesn't just look at players when they go and attack, but also looking at a player, let's say, when they recover. And if they don't get back to a certain area, they're not in a position to cut out lines when the team have to defend. And so it's that sort of detail, whereas we'd normally look and just think, well, yeah, players getting back. But he looks at details that I need you to get back in this space because you now cut out a line of area that if they have the ball, this here stops them from playing into a forward player. So again, he's absolutely. I
think it's that personal touch. You see Pep coaching, and it's very personal, one-to-one at times on the coaching field. So I think the team meetings or the team talks are that moment where he brings all that individual coaching he's done into the group. So they're always really interested in where it fits in.
How difficult is that when you are playing so many games? You've got 2 days possibly of training, a day of recovery in between the next game to work on things for the next game that's coming.
It's just I've said it many times. He's a serial winner, and people like Pep at that elite top end are just absolutely obsessed with it. He like Shaun said, they're marginal gains, even getting little gains. It might be on the way to a game. Speaking with someone, he's just obsessed with success and winning and helping players develop, and you can see it.
Shaun, we've seen plenty of times as well, even after a victory, Pep will pull players aside and talk to them. Again, it just shows the mindset of Pep Guardiola.
Yes, and just thinking about it, you would love to play under him because, again, he's given this information to players on how to improve them, how to, them to be more effective, whether it's defending and saying, we need to squeeze up another yard. That yard makes a difference. Or attacking player, getting his body position right so that we can now attack. He could turn and go forward. It's just that fine detail, which is just, it amazes me. And, he'd be a dream to play under.
And even in the snow, the spirits seem very high. There's lots of smiles on all the players' faces. Kevin, what have you made of the spirit of the team?
Yeah, sky high, aren't they? It's easy when you're winning games. It can be difficult, like we mentioned, when the teams got announced, when there's real good players, real top-notch players not in the team. So there's a way to manage that, but he obviously gets it bang on because everybody seems really buoyant and obviously looking forward to games coming up.
Yeah, you're just looking at the clips there. You got Laporte smiling. It's snowing. These guys, the confidence in this team right now is at its highest level. And again, they're doing their runders, just warming up and getting themselves going. But just coming off of the back of that 4-1 brilliant result against Liverpool, the whole, all the squad is absolutely buzzing, and they'll be looking forward to this game as well today.
Would you want to be in one of the rondos, Kevin, with this team?
Let me tell you now, if I was in that rondo, I would be in the middle. And I would be running around really slowly and then probably kicking somebody. So Pep wouldn't want me in that rondo.
I mean, Shaun, would you survive, do you think, in there?
Well, I would use it from the point that I'm working on my pressing, lad, so I'll stay in the middle. This is why I keep losing it.
If Goats was in that rondo, he'd go to pass it and shank it to go in the goal. He'd score.
As long as it hits the back of the net, nobody cares about that. Now, one game that we did just touch on and we spoke about was that Liverpool game. And before we get into talking all about it, let's watch it back with this superb package put together by City TV.
Up against Alexander-Arnold. He's not got much change out of him prior to that, but he does do now, and City won a penalty. A trip by Fabinho on Raheem Sterling. Ilkay Gundogan from the spot has put it beyond the frame of the net.
We haven't won here for a while, and when I seen that penalty go over, I just thought, oh no, please don't be the same story again.
Tunco has laid himself down low.
Diaz just moving him along a little bit further by the scruff of his neck.
Sterling again has got beyond Alexander-Arnold, and Foden, that's a great save, and it'll be 1-0 now. And of all players, it had to be İlkay Gündoğan, didn't it?
It was a massive moment. Like I said, after he missed the penalty, I think with the type of player that he is, he's going to want to try and show positive reaction to the team. And I think for some, they might put their head down and say, this is, I'm struggling today.
Yeah.
But it was a very important part of that team performance.
Oh, and Salah might be in here. And he's gone down. What's the referee said? Oh, he says penalty. What can Ederson do? Nothing, I'm afraid. And Liverpool are level. And again the ball's been given away, and Foden now can go at Liverpool, and he's weaved his patterns, and City will go in the lead now, and again it's İlkay Gündoğan.
He's doing okay, I suppose, isn't he? He's not doing too bad. Now, Gundogan's in the form of his life at the moment.
Alisson won't make the same mistake twice. I'll tell you what, he has another chance for City. It's 3!
I can't believe it's Sterling there. Absolutely massive for him, obviously scoring here at Anfield. But yeah, 3-1.
Here comes City again with Jesus, and flips it out wide well to bring in Phil Foden. That's a brilliant goal from Foden!
He's such a good player to watch. He's so smooth when he moves. Yeah. He's got all the talent in the world and all the opportunity in the world to become wherever he wants to be at this club.
For the first time since May 2003, City have indeed finally won at Anfield.
The game it was Manchester City beating Liverpool 4-1. Let's try and break that one down. They did it here in the studio. Richard Dunn, Nader Manua, Kel Spellman as well. But Shaun, what did you make of it?
Well, listen, before I get onto the goals, just do me a favour. Touch my arm right here. Just touch me.
We can't. We're not allowed. We're not allowed.
Listen, how does Mo Salah's feet go under for that penalty like that? I'll move away from that bit there. Listen, those goals. Gundogan didn't have any composure. After having a penalty, missing a penalty, having a composure to then settle himself down and then go on to score another couple goals. Absolutely brilliant. Takes the team, leads the team. I'm just thinking to myself, brilliant, because the mindset at the time would have been, we're Liverpool. Are we going to lose again? Are we going to throw it away again? But he then galvanized, and the rest of the boys got on board and just went with it. It was brilliant.
You can see the replays once again, but there was a curse on us, I'll say, at Anfield, and that picture summed it up. Nicolas Anelka, 2003, and then it was Phil Foden as well. What do you think they brought to the game, Kevin?
I'm gutted because I can't say I was in the last Man City team that won at Anfield now. So I'm, for me, it was a massive, massive statement. This would have knocked the wind out of Liverpool. And Shaun's right. Gundogan missing the penalty high and wide, and it was quite a funny tweet you put out actually about the Super Bowl, wasn't it? The kicking of the goal. We've all missed penalties for Manchester City. It's a tough one, but he composed himself. It was a top performance and a massive, massive result.
It was. Now Manchester City do move 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. Nice to say. 10 points clear of the current champions Liverpool. It was a massive statement, Shaun.
Yes, it was. And, the boys were well aware of the situation that winning that game, going 10 points ahead of Liverpool with a game in hand, they knew this. And when you're aware of these things, you realize, they knew the importance of the game, but they're like, we need to deliver today. And they're conscious as well. Like this racket being as long as it was like they probably looked around the dressing room and went, "This world class. I'm looking at Kevin. World class." This would have been their thoughts. We need to get a result today, and they went out there and delivered it.
One man that we need to talk about, Phil Foden. What a goal it was, that final one. And we thought we can't just talk about it. Let's have a look at it in Intel TrueView. So the ball gets played across, and Kevin, we can see here, he picks it up, drags it in. And I mean, look at it. Look at this. The shot is beautiful. Wow. The cameras all around the stadium is great. The strike, though, you had a great left foot, Kevin. You must look at that and go, wow.
I'll tell you, I wish we had Intel TrueView back then, by the way. It looks brilliant, doesn't it? And it starts right from the beginning. His first touch is immense. Under pressure, not phased. Great first touch. Fronts him up and just like shimmered him right, go left, and the power he hit it with is. I know we've been speaking about him a lot, and a lot of people are. he could go anywhere. He could go be as good as he wants to be. This kid.
How could we not? I'm really glad you went to Kevin because I didn't have a left foot, never struck a ball like that. But how could we not? Here's the thing. Robson is a brilliant defender. He moves that ball to his left and strikes it before Robson can adjust his feet to get that block in. So that looks very simple in what he's done.
So
just move it subtly. But that is quick in how he's moved it, shifted it, and with the power he's hit, the keeper had absolutely no chance. A brilliant strike by the young lad, Foden.
There's been lots of talk about the varied positions for Phil Foden that we've seen him in, which is incredible that we can see him in different positions. For you, where do you prefer watching him?
Further up the field, obviously. For me, good players can play anywhere. Obviously, he's not going to be a centre-half, but I don't mean that. But he's just so comfortable on the ball. He could play deeper in midfield, just receiving things and manoeuvring the ball, playing into pockets. But further up the field, he's just a real threat. Like I say, he can go either way. He looks silky smooth, balanced. He's so pleasing on the eye, and he's backing it up.
Yeah, for me, I like Phil when he's central. When he's central, his dribbling qualities really come to fore. When he's out wide, he plays the role for the team in that he keeps that width, because we all know how important the width is for Pep. You're looking at some of this, look, pirouettes, all sorts. I mean, this guy, I keep saying it every time, right? But within the next 5 years, this guy will be challenging for Ballon d'Or. I really do feel that because, again, he affects the game. He scores goals. He creates goals. His dribbling. Fabinho saw how quick he was the other day as well. The ball went wide along the line. He knocked it another 10 yards further forward, and he had another gear. Fabinho, whoa. Had to pull him down. So he's got all the qualities and attributes, the composure, the desire, energy. He always brings this. Look at this. Lou Dink, that's really his only option that he had to score there. When a goalkeeper's coming out like that, really your only option is to potentially go over it with that acute angle as well.
The scary thing is, as well, Kevin, he's still developing. He's only young.
He is, and look, people say, what will happen with Phil? He don't need to go anywhere else other than this football club because he's got unbelievable players around him that are going to lift him up and make him better. He's got a manager that believes in him and is nurturing him the right way. He's going to be incredible for this football club and could be one that becomes a real legend here.
Now, it's funny you said that because Phil last week said he can only see himself playing for Manchester City, and that kind of loyalty these days, we don't see it as much. We've seen throughout the years Gerrard, Scholes, players like that have stuck with one club. But he's grown up as a Manchester City fan. We're all proud of him. We talk so much about him. He must be so proud playing for the club as well.
He's living every Blues dream, isn't he?
Yes.
He's living the dream, but in that same breath, he is absolutely delivering. He's a top player, and it's music to my ears, and certainly most Blues, I imagine, in him saying that he don't want to go anywhere else.
Now, not only does he get to live out my dreams playing for Manchester City, he also gets to live out one dream that I've had forever, being a mascot for Manchester City as well. I still say to this day, put the full kit on me, I'll walk out with one of these players. I do not mind, and Phil Foden managed to do that. After the game, he said how it started, how it's going, and he's just living that dream as a mascot, as a kid, watching these players, and then also just playing for them, Shaun.
Yes, he is. I mean, again, him seeing everything from a little kid walking out here, we're seeing the clips of him when he was a mascot. He would have seen, and here, when I look at this, I'm seeing a little kid that's confidence. Normally you see mascots that normally just stood there and their head down. He's engaging. And this is a young kid that's got confidence already. Not sure what his age is.
He's probably good enough to get in that team then, Shaun. Huh?
You make a good point there.
I mean, it is just so special seeing this clip that did surface online, and then Manchester City have used it as well. But just look at him. That proves people will talk about him as a youngster playing for the club. But look at that face right there. To grow up. That's the dream, Shaun.
Yeah, it's confidence is what I'm seeing. And again, the club is global now. So he's playing with world-class players. Says he wants to stay to the club for his, for the rest of his career. It ticks all the boxes. This club is we can't see it getting bigger, but this is the direction that the club wants to go in. Is to be the best in everything it does. So, in our time, that wasn't something that we were like, well, we'll think about it, because the club just wasn't the way it is today. And that there's, hearing it from him is absolutely brilliant.
Right, as we're throwing it back a little bit with Phil Foden as a youngster, let's keep that trend up. Let's throw it back a little bit more to the 2001-2002 season, a very special season for Manchester City, where you helped us earn promotion in some style, the team scoring 108 goals. And Kevin, you got a special one in that 108, didn't you?
Yeah, apparently I got the 100th. Away at Birmingham, I do remember it. There was a slight deflection on it, but we look, what a season. It's probably my favourite season of all, of my whole career. We were the entertainers that year. There's the GOAT scoring again, look.
Off his shin.
Absolutely relentless he was scoring.
Hey, dropping deep, getting involved in your play. Right? People didn't see all that. Yep. Following it up, ghosting in. Ghost number 9 then. We're in 10.
Getting fed all the time, wouldn't you, mate?
Oh, look at that one right there. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I say this every time these clips come up. These were the best days for me, because this is when I was a kid. I was going, and a season like this was so special. And I still remember having a picture with the trophy at the end of the season at Main Road. What a strike that was right there. I talked about that left foot before.
Yeah, look, it just sat up on my left. My left was okay. My right was a pig's trotter. But it fell to my left. It was just an unbelievable season. And I don't think you actually realise until you look back now. I've watched this season review back, and it was unbelievable. Some of the games, some of the goals we scored. We were just the entertainers, and we went out with that little bit of arrogance where we thought we were going to win, or we knew we were going to win. And it just had that momentum, and it was an incredible season for us.
That period of time, I just want to throw up some of the players. We saw Darren Huckabee there, Danny Tiato, Ali Benarbia, Ayel Berkovic as well throughout those years. I mean, growing up, we didn't have a lot Manchester City, but we had some special players. Shaun, what was it like playing with them?
Well, look, Kevin's absolutely right. Kevin Keegan wanted us really to just go out there and attack. And, if we won a game 3-2, brilliant. We won a game 5-4, brilliant. This was his way of how we played. I have to give mention to Huckabee, because Huckabee was somebody that was regular there scoring. Huckabee used to run in off the line, beat 5 players, and just as he's about to sort of pull his foot back to score, that was me just tapping it in. I was like, well done, Hawks, brilliant play. But this is the way Kevin Keegan wanted us to play, open, aggressive, on the front foot. We didn't. Don't get me wrong, we didn't play out the back like this team here. But again, we were certainly looking to be more offensive as a team.
Now, you tore the league apart, you finished top, you go back into the Premier League. What was the feeling around the dressing room? We can see lifting the trophy right there. Kevin, what can you remember of this day?
Not a great deal, I'll be totally honest. I remember the season as a whole. It was one of them, I've mentioned it in many an interview, I felt accountable for where the club had gone to. And I'm sure some of the other players that were on that journey too felt that way. We got the club back to the Premier League. I'll be totally honest. At this point, I was buzzing that the club were back in the Premier League. I questioned myself, was I going to be good enough? Was I going to be about? We got Kevin Keegan as our manager here that has got a real good name in the game, could attract big players. Was my time coming to an end? So it was a great day and obviously a great season for us, but it then puts you in that turmoil as a player. All right, I'm going to have to prove myself again. What was it like playing under Kevin Keegan, Shaun, as a player, as a manager? What did you make of him?
I found, obviously from the championship year, we went out, we attacked. I found that when we got into the Premier, I think as a player, I was looking for just a little something more than just go out there and play, because you're coming up now against, Liverpool or United, and these teams are the quality. And I thought, so we were getting beat. And for me, I was searching for just a little something more. But again, we ended up finishing, I think it was 9th, which was still a decent season, considering we were punching way above our weight. But yeah, again, it was a joy to play under him, because he wanted you to go out there and attack. And, you can see, don't worry about that. Can we go and score 2 goals? As well, at Main Road, the shirt you've got on right there, the Kippax, I mean, what a joy it was to be in the Kippax. What was it like playing in front of them? It was unbelievable. I will never forget, for as long as I live, the first moment I ran out of Main Road and the Kippax. It blew me, it made my hair stand up on the back of my neck. It was unbelievable. I missed the old place, I must admit, but we're in unbelievable surroundings now.
Yeah, we are. But the memories, I definitely agree with you there. Very, very special time. Promotion party. Let's talk about that, because it looked like the celebrations had already started on the pitch. Can you remember them after it? Do you know what happened?
Well, as far as I remember, I thought the club had put something on at the Midland Hotel. And, you know, I'm someone that don't drink, so I don't remember anything.
To be fair, we've obviously had a couple of promotion parties. I remember going to the Midland and I got in a bit of trouble. I opened the fire exit because obviously it was just players and family. I let a lot of Manchester City fans in the fire exit. I thought, look, this is their time. Come and join us. So I bought a round of drinks. I don't know how many fans I let in. It was quite a few. And then when the bar bill come over in a leather wallet, 'cause it's quite posh in there, I sort of opened it and ate the receipt. So I do apologise, and the waiter just shut the leather book and walked off. I'll probably pop in and pay that bill on my way home.
Yes, so someone's watching that now going, I remember that night, he's still not paid it. I mean, we talk about how special a time it was, and obviously we've had some incredible memories over the past few years, the past 10 years really, but that level that we got to, for you, Shaun, where do you think they could have gone? Where do you think that team could have gone? Do you think they could have stayed, obviously, in the Premier League? They went up and down a few years, but where do you think they were?
Yeah, I mean, our best season was finishing ninth, but then we did have a time where, you know, we were up and down. And I think we were typically a mid-table sort of Premier League team. And what was happening is we were then starting to invest in sort of quality players. You know, we started seeing world-class players coming in. George Weah, then Anelka started coming in, then Robbie Fowler. So these big names started to come in. So it was, you know, just slowly but surely the club was looking to invest and improve. And you roll on to today. You know, if you told me then what we have, the world-class players that we have playing the brand of football we're playing, the best manager in the world, you know, for me, Pep has sort of changed football. I go and, you know, I watch the odd League Two game and you're seeing teams trying to play out the back, you know, and you're like, he hasn't got a touch. How is he trying to play out the back? But this is all come from Pep Guardiola and his philosophy. And I think it's absolutely brilliant, the brand of football he's brought.
Now, Kevin, you talked about your skills and worrying if you had a future at Manchester City when we got back into the Premier League. But they say that form is temporary, class is permanent, and we've got a clip of your skills now to this day. I mean, you've still got it.
My one skill. Well, I think I might know what you're going to show. I've only got one skill with a football.
Oh, is that it? Just one? I mean,
this is it, if you're going to show it.
I think we are going to show it. We can see this skill right here. And
I just wish I was a goalkeeper, because I could have, like, showboated a bit more, pretending the ball stuck, coach. You like that, didn't it? It weren't really, mate. Look, it wasn't really. I was pretending.
I mean, brilliant clip right there. Talk to us about your project at Needham Market Academy. How's that going?
It's superb. I rejoined Needham. I played from back end of my career when I finished playing professionally. It's an unbelievable football club, and we got an academy there with 70 odd students now, and basically it's just the education football and just trying to get the students to enjoy coming in, work hard in the classroom, but also try and pursue a football career as well. So alongside being academy manager, I'm first team manager. So it's about giving students a chance. If they're interested in football and good enough, then can they progress onto Needham's first team through the 18s reserves and beyond. I've got a couple of students actually from last year actually in negotiations with professional clubs at the minute, so it's going well. I'm loving it. I love the place.
Shaun, what did you make out of 10 of Kevin's skills there?
Well, listen, that was absolutely brilliant. Listen, Kevin's humble in how he talks about himself, but believe me, his left foot is absolute quality. And, you know, before the Isles, the Alleys, and all these top quality players started coming to the club, the player that I relied on was Kevin Horlock, you know, and we used to hang about in the physio room, and I'm just hanging around him so that relationship could continue on the pitch, because Kevin was the one that had that magical sort of quality pass.
So you're saying you used me then, Shaun?
That's it for his shin. That's it. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. I'll give you the tenner after, mate, when you're off camera.
Now, another player who had absolute techers and one that cemented mine as well as many other Manchester City fans' love for the club was Georgie King-Cladsey. And yes, Manchester City were a very special team with him involved with them as well. Now, there's something that's special, something that's been happening with Georgie King-Cladsey, and we also wanted to know what it was like and if anyone had any tales of him, and this is what we came up with.
Yes, I am. I sure I am. City tell I die.
Clancy will try and beat his man, and suddenly space opens up. Still King Clancy inside the penalty area. This will be a fantastic goal. Oh, that's mesmeric. It's sublime, and it's typically Georgi King Clancy.
And so we bought him for £1 million. But you could see the guy was brilliant. If you got the orchestra, this guy could conduct it.
Clancy is looking for the return. Quinn's given it to him, and he scored.
გოლი რო გავიტანე გადახვია მაყურებელში და რო ჩამithრიეს ერთი მერე ფეხბურთელები მეხმარებოდა ნიკამ მინდორზე გადაბრუნებული.
A footballing moment to treasure. Everyone, but everyone is applauding King Clancy.
King Clancy, the Magician of Main Road, will be available on City TV, on City Plus, so make sure that you do subscribe and you get involved with that one. Let's talk about him then, because I said about my love for Manchester City was cemented with players like King Clancy, but I was a little bit too young to watch him live, so it was all the VHS tapes. Remember those? Yeah, very old days. Some people watching won't even know what they are, but my cousins, my uncles, everyone that I went to the games with always talks about King Clancy and what a player he was.
He was unbelievable. Honestly, the first day I turned up, let me tell you now, I will be watching that because I want to watch it again. I want to see him again. He was unreal. The first day I turned up, I was like, what? I've not seen a lot of him. What is this? I've never seen anything like it. The balance, the poise, the football brain. He was incredible. And for me, I think he would get in and around this squad and team. I honestly believe that. What
a special player then. I mean, it should be a great watch, so make sure you do watch it. Shaun, what did you make of him?
Yeah, tune in, innit? Because I will be as well. we actually done a crossover. So when I come, he was leaving. He left about 2 months later. But in training, you really couldn't get the ball off him. You knew where he wanted to go, but you couldn't. You know, you're sort of anticipating he wants to go to his left. But he'd be that sharp, and when he goes, or he'll fake right and go left. And his balance was unbelievable. So when you had possession games in training, you couldn't get the ball off him. You really just stood over him and you hope, like, can you pass it?
He was
so we could win it off the next player?
He was our star. He was our ace in the pack. He was our match winner. And unfortunately, a lot of us were nowhere near as good as him, which he must have found it really difficult.
He's had a very long-lasting effect on Manchester City fans. Even so, one of my friends, she put up a picture the other day. She'd bought an old shirt and it had King Clancy on the back of it. To this day, 2021, 25 years after he was here at the club, City fans still are talking about him. He's still got such a big impact on this club.
He was that good, though. I would wear a King Clancy shirt. He was that good. It was funny because we was obviously having a bit of a tough time towards the end of his time at Manchester City, and I bought a Porsche 911. I always promised myself that when I made it as a footballer, when I could afford it, I would buy a Porsche 911. So I bought this Porsche 911. Next day, I heard outside the front door. I think someone nicking my car. I've gone out. Georgie King Clancy's in a red Ferrari. Right? So he's undone the window. I went, what are you doing? He went, if you have Porsche, I get Ferrari. I thought, do you know what? If anyone's a Ferrari in football, Georgie King Clancy is a Ferrari, let me tell you.
Well, if you've got any stories around Georgie King Clancy, please do get in touch. Let us know your stories on them using that hashtag WNRH. Manchester City travel to Swansea this evening, 5th round of the FA Cup. Let's go over the teams once again. The starting lineup for Manchester City. Zach Stefan in goal, Kyle Walker, Benjamin Mendy, Wnrh Laporte, Eric Garcia make up the defence. Then it's Rodrigo, Bernardo Silva, Ilkay Gundogan, Gabriel Jesus, Ferran Torres and Raheem Sterling. Substitutes include Ederson, Stones, Zinchenko, Mahrez, Cancelo, Foden, Doyle, Bernabe and Gomez as well. Let's go over the Swansea team as well. In goal, Freddie Woodman. Then it's Connor Roberts, Benjamin Cabango, Joe Latabaudiere, former Manchester City player, Mark Guy, Ryan Manning, Jay Fulton, Matt Grimes, Jan Danda, Jordan Morris and Jamal Lowe. And then also their substitutes, they've got Webb, Norton, Bennett, Freeman, Bidwell, Horahan, Areola, Ayew and Whittaker. Looking at these two teams, Shaun, everyone's going to expect Manchester City to come out to be firing on all cylinders as well. But Swansea, they're looking quite good.
Listen, Swansea, like I said earlier, Swansea are a team that like to get the ball down, they like to play through the thirds. And again, for them, they'll see this as a free hit, and they'll want to upset, the cart, knowing that Pep wants to win all trophies that he goes for. So I anticipate them being Swansea, being difficult to beat from the point of keeping possession and trying to be offensive as well.
They're third in the league, 2 points off top. They've got a game in hand as well. So they're in terrific form. We've talked so much about the 4 competitions that Manchester City are in. Could we see an upset tonight?
I don't think so. I'm with Shaun. I think they're going to come out. It is a free hit for them. They come all guns blazing, but I just think the mentality of this Manchester City squad and team and manager will be too much and weather the storm and then come through good.
We're seeing them arriving, warming up at the Liberty Stadium. They're definitely going to be up for it this evening. I mean, looking at their team, looking at Manchester City's team, the two are going to go head-to-head. Kick off at 5:30, so we're only 20 minutes away. But, Shaun, Rodrigo, Gundogan, Bernardo, Torres, Jesus and Sterling, there's definitely firepower in our squad.
Yes, it is. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Walker push right up wide and Torres actually be closer to Jesus, almost like a 4-4-2. I wouldn't be surprised to see us take that shape throughout the game because, again, Pep always throws us these conundrums and we go, I didn't see that coming, So I'm taking a wild stab in the dark here with this one. But no, I think because they like to play out. So for teams that like to play out, you need to have either 3 players or 4 players pressing to assure that they sort of go long. So I could see Pep doing something like that. And I'm intrigued to see if Walker pushes high and wide, or does Walker actually push into that midfield when City's out of possession and the ball's on the opposite side.
I can see your angle there, and possibly even Mendy pushing on and Rodrigo dropping in between the 2 centre-halves. It will, like you say, give that extra bodies forward to press if they're going to try and play out.
Let's talk a little bit about Kyle Walker because, interestingly enough, I actually chatted to him a couple of weeks ago and we were talking about the competition within the squad, and he openly came out and talked about having to fight for his position and how Cancelo's come in. He's got a good run in the team as well, and that's made Kyle Walker want to work even harder. Shaun, do you think that's the case?
This is exactly what you anticipate. When competition comes in, you've got to raise your game. Kyle Walker was so consistent, absolutely brilliant. You never saw players go across him. The odd time he made an error was through himself, perhaps either trying a long diagonal ball that got caught out or something. But you never saw players really take him on in a one-on-one situation. We know what. Kevin's talking about Ferraris and Porsches. Well, that's him when he gets in that final third. You're thinking no one could really, match his power and pace. So I'm intrigued to see, how he plays. Does he play offensive, high and wide, or does he come inside in that midfield area and play in there? But yeah, Kyle's been very consistent, and he'll look to put on a good performance today.
Let's look at the other side as well, because Benjamin Mendy back in the starting 11 as well. And when you've got Walker and Mendy both sides, they offer something very different to Zinchenko and to Cancelo as well. But with Mendy, he's so fast, he can get up and down the wing, put the balls into the right spaces as well, Kevin.
Yeah, it just gives you a different angle, doesn't it? In terms of Walker and Mendy pushing on, it gives the chance of Torres and Sterling maybe to roll inside and be a little bit closer to Jesus, which could spell big problems for Swansea. But it's incredible, like you talk about challenging for places and players in front of you. It's happened since football began. Anelka coming to replace Shaun, and Shaun's mentality was, no, I'm going to stick around, I'm going to prove it. And I think everyone in the squad realises that they've got to step up to the plate and prove themselves on a daily basis in training and in games when they get the opportunity, because I think Pep's installed that in the squad, and which is why we're seeing us going so well.
Now I want to focus on the bench just quickly, because we've got Edison, Stones, Zinchenko, Mahrez, Cancelo, Foden, Doyle, Gomez and Bernabé as well. So strong, but there are players in there that want to be playing. We've saw John Stones this season, what he's managed to do. We've seen Mahrez, Cancelo, these players that are going to want to get minutes. But it must be difficult when you've got so many games, Shaun, to manage the entire squad.
Yes, I think, I done some research and I look back on City, the number of games players played typically throughout the season. And they all typically average. It was like 30, between 30 and 38 games. So if you're playing between 30 and 38 games, you feel as though you've played all season. And that's because City end up playing somewhere in their 60 games. And this is management by Pep Guardiola. He understands that it's the bigger picture, that these players are not playing too many games, and this is why they average out. Again, as I said, these guys are playing somewhere between 30 to 38 games over the course of the season, and it's absolutely mad. This is the detail of stuff that you look into, because my thought was I want to play 60 games, but then you don't have that level. You don't have that level to perform. You know, we see the Gundogan performing like he is, and these guys being consistent throughout the season. So that thought about it all. I see what you're doing, Pep. I got you, Pep.
Right, we've been asking you guys to get involved in the show using the hashtag WNRH, and people have been doing that, starting up with regular on the show, Stephen McInerney. He says, at official Shaun Gota, I want to know where the Hawaiian shirt has gone. Where is it, Shaun? Where's the Hawaiian shirt?
Because you asked. Listen. Well, we bring that one out when I feel it's a 5-0. Yeah, we want to get Kevin in one as well.
To be fair, I see that shirt. I actually thought it was Shaun Gota Day or something. Yeah. I thought he was celebrating on his own in a really bad way.
No, he looked very good. He looked very good in it. Me and Stephen, though, we just chose not to wear ours, and we thought we'd let Shaun do it. Another tweet that's come in at Man City, watching in Malta. Welcome all the way in Malta. We're here in very cold Manchester. I hope the weather is a little bit better where you are as well. Another tweet that we have had is from Michael Andy Wasty. He says, hashtag WNRH, very happy to see Ferran back in the squad. Thank you for that, Michael. Thank you for getting in touch. Let's quickly touch on Ferran Torres in a few moments. Let's go to the next tweet. Great team, but we need to be careful of Swansea. Let's not go 1 or 2 down. Our heads will drop. Come on, City. Hashtag WNRH. A couple of great points in there, Shaun. I mean, Ferran Torres back in the squad. What have you made of his performances so far?
Yes, I really like this guy. Again, you know, as a wide player, when you see wide players play up the middle, as Pep does sometimes, I'm sitting thinking, well, there's a time when you have to be a center forward in your runs and your timing of your runs, how you have to face up and hurl balls up. And I'm watching his decision making. Because the decision making of the elite player and a good player is a huge difference. And this guy's decision of when to make his runs, the timing of his runs, his body positioning to just come off, see the defender. And I'm thinking, is this guy an actual center forward? Because his levels are just there with the decision making and everything. So again, this is why I can see him possibly drifting inside. But that's me taking a stab.
You said he finishes like a forward as well, Shaun, didn't you?
Yeah,
he finishes like a striker, so that's some compliment coming from the GOAT.
It is indeed. As well, when we're looking at Ferran Torres, he's not a victim of the strength in depth, but he's one of the positives of it. The fact that the side is so strong, he's not seen many minutes, but as soon as he gets this opportunity today, he's going to want to show what he can do, Kevin.
Yeah, of course, and that's what he has to do. I think we've got a real group of players, a big group of quality players that trust the manager, and that makes it a whole lot easier. He's obviously honest with them. I've already spoke about the personal touch. He's probably spoke to these players, the ones that are missing out today, the ones that are coming in. They know exactly what's needed of them.
Now, one player we do need to talk about, we can see him on the screens now, Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling as well. I mean, Shaun, when you've got Torres, Jesus and Sterling as your front three, goals are coming. I'm saying it right now. The goals are going to come tonight.
There's goals in this game. Yes. Listen, you know, Kevin's talking about the players trusting the manager. The manager trusts in these players. And Sterling is someone that he knows he can rely on. You know, he's consistent. He's matured in his game. We've seen him have the armband as a captain. Pep trusts Sterling in his performance and being consistent. So I anticipate the exact same today of Sterling, you know, managing the game, not every time getting it, saying I'm going to go cross a player, but then the next time saying, this is the time now I need to drive cross and create some stuff.
And we talk about the squad and lads coming in and lads missing out. It's not getting any easier, by the way. We've got a certain Kevin De Bruyne and Aguero ready to come back soon. It's incredible, isn't it? Like the competition for places is just going to escalate even more. But it's good times.
It is indeed. Now, one thing on Raheem Sterling that I'll just throw out there: only 3 players have scored 100 goals under Pep Guardiola. Raheem Sterling achieved that the other day. Sergio Aguero as well. and a certain Lionel Messi. So, I mean, Raheem Sterling, he's in great company, Shaun, isn't he?
Take that, wouldn't you?
This is to you, Raz. Listen, 100 goals on the Pep. Listen, that's absolutely brilliant. But again, he's taking the knowledge, the information, and he's executing it. So it's an applause to Sterling, because as a player can hear that information and just think, well, nah, I don't think so. I'm gonna do it my way. But he's taking that information on, and he's going and executing, and he's delivering brilliant games, brilliant performances. He's not at the level he was last season, but I bet he's still eager to get there and get to those levels. So
it's the important thing, that eager to get there. Even once they've achieved things, they still want to push, and again, that's led by the manager.
Now, one thing, another tweet that was brought up about don't go 1 or 2 down, don't let your heads drop. But there's a confidence, it feels like, with Manchester City fans. There's a confidence with me that even if we do concede, we're going to score more. We're back to that being that team that is going to find the win out of anywhere in the final few moments of a game.
Yeah, it's a bit different from days gone by, but you go down back in our day, it was done. But yeah, they never know when they're beaten, do they? So look, you don't want to go goals behind, but if they do, I think they can recover. Certainly with the players they've got playing and the ones able to come on in the bench. The only real little bit of a concern for me is the back four's changed completely. And goalkeeper. I'm not saying, look, this makes us way weaker, but I'm just saying they've not played together recently and it's all changed. So there might be a little bit of indecision at a point, which might give Swansea a chance or half chance. So that's my only reservation, really.
Now, we're 50 minutes into the show, and I've not brought up the words the magic of the cup when referring to the FA Cup, but I've got something which is quite magic for you. Manchester City's Phil Foden, he's obviously on the bench today, could become the first player at the club to score in the 3rd, 4th and 5th round of the competition in the same season since Shaun in 2000 and 2001. I mean,
Stop
Shaun,
it.
Are you scared that your record could be smashed?
Mate, it's getting smashed.
Before
the bar was right here, right? And Ernest going to take it and just threw it away because it's up there.
Before you put Shaun on the end of it, I was thinking Shaun must have done that.
There you are. You trusted him. But yeah, 20 years. That's some going.
Yeah, but listen, Phil Foden is world class, and he will absolutely smash that racket without a shadow of a doubt.
I'm going to ask you this.
And he's only 20.
That's true. I'm going to put you on the spot. Can you remember the 3 teams you did it against in the 3rd, 4th and 5th round?
Definitely not.
I've not got them, so I don't know. If you guys know, make sure you do get in touch, alright? Don't be using Google or anything like that. If you've got the answers, then do let us know. Use that hashtag WNRH. Now, another thing you can get involved with this evening is Guess the Blue. Yes, this is where we have a mystery Manchester City player pixelated for you to guess who it is at home. So let's have a look who it is this week. Right, you can tweet your guess using the hashtag WNRH, our mystery blue right here. We're going to leave it on for a few more seconds. We've been trying to decipher it here in the studio. I started looking at the team that they were playing against, the yellow kit, thinking about what year it was, who the sponsors were at the time. I think I've come down to it being 2004. I think. I'm not too sure. So, Kevin, Shaun, who are we going for?
Well, Shaun said it was a little bit blurred. That's how it's meant to be, mate. Otherwise, it'd be a bit too easy, wouldn't it? I don't know. My first thought was Tarnat, but okay. I'm unsure.
Oh, what a free kick that was. I still remember that free kick.
Yeah,
near the centre circle. Yeah. Shaun, who are you going for with that one?
Well, yeah, I'm going to go with same Kev. No, I'm looking at that, and why is it blurry?
It's not your eyesight, okay? It's not your eyesight, okay?
No, yeah, I haven't a Scooby-Doo clue. I'm going to say Richard Dunn.
Richard Dunn. It could be Richard Dunn regular on the show.
Let me tell you now, Richard Dunn has lost a lot of weight because he was a monster. He looks a little bit slimmer than Richard Dunn, I think, unless the pixelations made him look really skinny. I don't know.
Who knows? Well, you can tweet your answers to that one to the Mystery Blue using the hashtag WNRH. We want to hear from you. We'll be going back over at half-time and full-time as well. Right, we're only a few moments away from kick-off at the Liberty Stadium. Manchester City taking on Swansea in the 5th round of the FA Cup. It's going to be a game full of goals. I've already said that. So let's get the predictions ready. My favourite part of the show. Shaun, we've been horrendous over the past few weeks since the beginning of the season. So I'm going to start with you. Why not?
I'm going 4-1.
Okay.
Right out the blocks, 4-1. That's it. You heard it here first, 4-1.
Oh, he's serious now. He's been very serious. Kevin, are you going to give us a bit more explanation around yours?
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to give Swansea the 1, which is a little bit unlike me, if I'm totally honest. But I just feel that they're going to be mad for it. We spoke about the complete new back four and goalkeeper. I think they may get a goal, but I think we'll override that with 3.
I'm going to say 2-0 Manchester City. I'm confident another clean sheet and a 15th win in a row, which would go better than the record that we're equaling with Preston and Arsenal right now. Before we end the show, very, very quickly, I've not seen you in a few weeks, Kevin, and I've heard that you've got a Christmas present for me and Shaun.
I thought a belated Christmas present.
Okay.
So I've obviously not left you out as well.
Thank you for that. Thank you. Oh, thank
so
you.
nice
All
of you,
right.
Kev.
Yeah, what's that, mate?
So nice of you.
So there's yours, Shaun. You can have a look at that.
Oh, what could this... Oh, we don't know what this is right here. We don't know what this is.
My thinking behind it, basically, it's a Wembley 99 mug, Shaun.
Oh.
And you can guess who the players are, but I just thought, I'm fed up of feeding the goat, so I thought I'd help him drink instead.
Brilliant.
So there you go.
This'll, I love that. Thank you very much, Kev.
Not a problem.
I appreciate that. Here's your present. You know that right foot that you never had?
Is that the goal?
You want it like mine? Here you go,
Mate,
sir.
I can't take your golden boot
But it
for
must
falling
be her,
goals.
though.
Mate.
It must
I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Oh, honestly, Kevin, thank you so much.
Cheers, Kev.
No problem.
That is amazing right there. If you want a close-up of it, this will be used. Any Blues out there, I know you are jealous. I've just got...
Can you tell who they are on there?
A Wembley 99 mug. We've got... obviously, we've got Andy Morrison,
Yes.
Kevin Horlock, and then in the middle.
Come on, you are joking.
Oh,
Wembley
okay,
99.
all right, I've got it, all right.
Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver, and then is that Paolo Wanchop? I'm joking. Yeah. Honestly, thank you so much. I did not expect that. I'm absolutely chuffed right there.
Kevin Horlock.
I'm going to make a brew before the game kicks off. Make sure you join us back here at half-time, all right? We'll be reviewing that first half. Manchester City taking on Swansea at Liberty Stadium. It's the FA Cup, the magic of the cup. It's the 5th round, and Pep Guardiola's boys in blue will be hoping to get the win. We'll see you at half-time.